Hey, and welcome to Puzzlehead. This channel is all about engaging stories with clever twists, unexpected turns, and moments that will pull you in emotionally. So, if you enjoy drama, surprises, and endings that truly hit, then you're in the right place. Subscribe and join us for stories full of secrets, intense moments, and satisfying outcomes. Now, don't forget to turn on notifications. The next puzzle is about to begin. The wedding ring hits the concrete floor of my garage with a sound like a gunshot. 22 years of marriage, reduced to a piece of gold spinning in the oil stains beneath my workbench. I watch it settle, then bend down and pick it up, turning it over in my calloused fingers. My name is Jack Morrison. I fix cars for a living in this Rust Belt town where everyone knows everyone's business. And tonight, I'm about to become very good at breaking things instead. The house is quiet above me, but I can hear them through the heating vents. Elena's voice carries that lawyer tone she uses when she's closing a deal, and our 18-year-old daughter Sam sounds like she's reading from a script. "You think Dad's clueless?" Sam says. "The house is yours, Mom. He's just a speed bump. Sign the papers and you and Vincent can start fresh. He'll survive." Vincent, my wife's paralegal. The pretty boy with soft hands who's been working late with Elena for months. I open my toolbox and pull out the small digital recorder I bought yesterday. Next to it, a wireless camera the size of a quarter. I've spent 30 years working with my hands, building engines, fixing what's broken. Tonight, I'm building something different. A trap. I wrap my knuckles with the old boxing tape from my amateur days, testing the flexibility. Everything has to be perfect. No mistakes. No evidence that can't be explained away. Through the vents, Elena's voice again. "Jack won't fight the house transfer. He's too tired, too beaten down. We'll be free by Christmas." I pour 3 fingers of whiskey into a coffee mug and take a slow sip. The burn feels good. They want me beaten down? They have no idea what I'm capable of when I stop playing nice. Day 1 starts with Elena's phone buzzing on the kitchen counter while she's in the shower. She never leaves it unattended, but this morning, she's careless. Excited, maybe. Planning her new life. The text message is from Vincent. "Room 412 at the Grand River Motel. Wear the red heels. Can't wait to celebrate our freedom." Our freedom. Like I'm some kind of prison warden they're escaping from. I memorize the message and set the phone back exactly where Elena left it. She comes downstairs 20 minutes later, hair perfect, makeup flawless. She's wearing a black dress I bought her for our anniversary 3 years ago. "Working late again tonight," she says, not meeting my eyes. "Big case." "Sure thing, honey." I keep my voice neutral, sip my coffee. "I'll probably be at Marty's bar. Haven't seen the old crew in a while." She nods, already thinking about Vincent and room 412. I watch her leave in her BMW, then wait exactly 10 minutes before following in my pickup truck. The Grand River Motel sits on the edge of town like a dirty secret. $40 rooms and no questions asked. I park across the street and watch Elena walk into the lobby, confident as a queen. Vincent's red Mustang is already there, parked in the shadows. I've brought my camera, a telephoto lens I borrowed from my neighbor who does wildlife photography. Through the viewfinder, I watch Elena knock on the door of room 412. Vincent opens it wearing nothing but a hotel bathrobe. They don't even close the door before they're kissing. Click, click, click. I get 12 perfect shots before they remember to draw the curtains, but I'm not done yet. I cross the street and slip into the motel parking lot. Vincent's Mustang is unlocked. Who's going to steal a car at a dive motel? I pop the hood and disconnect the battery cable, then let the air out of his front tire. Not enough to make it flat, just enough to make it wobble. Under his windshield wiper, I leave a single photograph. Elena and Vincent kissing in the doorway, her wedding ring clearly visible on the hand pressed against his chest. On the back, I write, "Smile for the camera, Romeo." The next morning, Elena's phone rings at 6 a.m. She's still in bed beside me, and I pretend to sleep while she answers. "What do you mean, harassment?" Her voice is sharp, worried. "What photograph?" I listen to her side of the conversation, piecing together the panic. Someone sent the photo to her law firm. Her boss wants to see her immediately. Elena hangs up and rushes to the bathroom. I hear the shower running, then the sound of her throwing up. Good. She leaves the house without breakfast, without coffee, without saying goodbye. I wait until Sam leaves for school, then call in sick to the shop. First time in 5 years. Marty's gym sits in the old warehouse district, a throwback to when this town had steel mills and honest work. Marty coached me in the amateurs 20 years ago, before I met Elena and got domesticated. He's 70 now, built like a fire hydrant, with hands that could crack walnuts. "Jack Morrison," he says when I walk in. Thought you'd forgotten how to find this place. Need some advice, Marty? He looks at my face, sees something there that makes him nod toward his office. We sit across from each other, and I tell him everything. The affair, the house transfer, the photograph. You want payback? Marty asks when I'm finished. I want them to bleed where it hurts. Then don't get caught. These people play dirty, but they're soft. Use that. He opens his desk drawer and pulls out a business card. Private investigator. Owes me a favor. You want to know everything about this Vincent kid? Start there. I take the card. Thanks, Marty. Jack! He grabs my wrist as I stand. Whatever you're planning, remember, the best revenge is watching them destroy themselves. You just need to give them the rope. 3 days later, Elena suggests a family dinner. To clear the air, she says, like we're having some minor disagreement about household chores instead of her cheating on our marriage. She's nervous, fidgeting with her wedding ring. The law firm suspended her pending an investigation into inappropriate workplace conduct. Vincent got fired outright. I thought Vincent might join us, she says, since there seems to be some confusion about our working relationship. Sam nods eagerly. That's a great idea, Mom. Dad needs to understand that not everything is about him. I almost laugh. My own daughter, coaching me on understanding. Sure, I say. Tell him to come by around 7. Elena looks surprised. She expected a fight. Vincent shows up at 7:15 driving a rental car. His Mustang is still in the shop. Apparently someone put sugar in his gas tank after the motel incident. He's wearing an expensive suit and a nervous smile. Jack, he says, extending his hand. Good to finally sit down and talk man to man. I shake his hand, squeeze just hard enough to make him wince. Vincent, Elena tells me you two have been working very closely together. Dad, Sam's voice carries a warning. Be nice. We sit down to dinner, and Vincent starts talking about his career, his goals, his bright future. He mentions that he's applying for jobs at bigger firms in the city. Bigger firms, I say. That's smart. Get out of this small town. Make a fresh start. Exactly. Vincent relaxes, thinks he's winning me over. Sometimes you have to leave the past behind. Speaking of the past, I say, want to see something interesting? I pull out my phone and show them the photo of Elena and Vincent kissing. Elena goes white. Sam gasps. Vincent drops his fork. Where did you get that? Elena demands. Same place your boss got it. Same place Vincent's boss got it. Same place I sent it to your mother, Elena, and your sister, and the partners at Morrison, Klein, and Associates. Vincent stands up so fast his chair falls over. You son of a witch. Vincent. I stand too, and he takes a step back. I'm 6 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier, and I've been working with my hands my whole life. You want to finish that sentence? Dad, stop it, Sam shouts. No, sweetheart. Vincent has something to say. Don't you, Vincent? He's shaking now, his face red. You ruined my career, my reputation. I didn't ruin anything. You did that when you decided to screw my wife. Elena slams her hand on the table. That's enough. You're right. I sit back down, cut a piece of steak. Vincent, you should probably leave. He looks at Elena, waiting for her to defend him, to choose him over me. But she's staring at her plate, calculating the damage to her own career. This isn't over, Vincent says. I look up from my steak. Yes, it is. Vincent doesn't leave. Instead, he follows me out to the garage after dinner, his chest puffed up with false courage. You think you're so tough? He says. You think you can intimidate me? I'm organizing my tools, putting everything back in its place. Vincent, you should go home. Elena deserves better than this, better than you. I turn around slowly. You know what? You're right. Elena deserves better. She deserves someone who won't sneak around behind her husband's back like a coward. I'm not a coward. Prove it. I walk to the corner of the garage and pull out my old heavy bag, still hanging from the ceiling beam. Next to it, 2 pairs of boxing gloves. You want Elena? Fight for her. Right here. Right now. Vincent laughs, but it sounds forced. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to... What's wrong, Vincent? Afraid you might chip a nail? Elena and Sam appear in the garage doorway, drawn by the voices. Dad, what are you doing? Sam asks. Teaching Vincent about consequences. I toss him a pair of gloves. Put them on. This is insane, Elena says. Your boyfriend called me old and weak. I lie smoothly. I'm just giving him a chance to prove it. Vincent looks at Elena, then at Sam. Both of them are watching him, waiting to see what he'll do. His pride won't let him back down. Fine, he says, pulling on the gloves. But when I knock you on your A, don't come crying to Elena. I slip on my gloves and show Vincent how to stand, how to hold his hands. Boxing is about patience, I tell him. You wait for your opponent to make a mistake, then you make him pay for it. Vincent throws a wild punch at my head. I step aside and tap him lightly in the ribs. Too aggressive. Try again. He swings harder this time, loses his balance. I hook his ankle with my foot and down he goes, landing hard on the concrete floor. Dad! Sam shouts, but she's not angry. She's recording with her phone. Vincent gets up, his face red with embarrassment and rage. He charges at me like a bull. I sidestep, grab his shoulders, and use his momentum to spin him around and pin him against the workbench. Here's your boxing lesson, Vincent, I whisper in his ear. Never fight someone who has more to lose than you do. I let him go, and he stumbles away, gasping. We're done here, I announce, pulling off my gloves. Vincent strips off his gloves and throws them at my feet. You're a psychopath. Maybe, but I'm Elena's psychopath. He looks at Elena one more time, waiting for her to say something, to choose him. But she's watching me with an expression I haven't seen in years. Fear. The video of Vincent getting humiliated goes viral in our small town. Sam posts it to her Instagram with the caption, Dad teaching mom's boyfriend some respect, Jachur karma, Jachur boxing, Jachur homewrecker. Within hours, it's been shared hundreds of times. Vincent becomes a local joke, the pretty boy who got schooled by a middle-aged mechanic. But Sam's betrayal cuts deeper than I expected. She's not just documenting the fight, she's enjoying it, enjoying my pain. I confront her the next morning while Elena is at her lawyer's office, trying to salvage her career. Why? I ask. Sam doesn't look up from her phone. Why what? Why are you helping them? I'm not helping anyone. I'm just tired of pretending this family works. This family worked fine until your mother decided to trade up. Did it? Sam finally looks at me. When was the last time you and Mom went on a date? When was the last time you bought her flowers, or told her she was beautiful, or acted like you cared about anything besides your stupid garage? The words hit like physical blows. I worked 60 hours a week to pay for this house, for your school, for what? A life where Mom feels invisible and I feel like a burden? You're not a burden. Then why are you trying to destroy Mom's chance at happiness? I stare at my daughter, this stranger wearing Sam's face. Because Vincent doesn't love her. He loves the idea of her. The successful lawyer, the trophy wife. When that's gone, when she's just another middle-aged woman with baggage, he'll disappear. Maybe, but at least she'll have tried. And what about me? Sam shrugs. You'll survive. You always do. That afternoon, I drive to the address Marty's private investigator gave me. It's a small office above a Chinese restaurant, the kind of place that smells like cigarettes and desperation. The investigator's name is Rita Chen, and she looks like somebody's grandmother until you see her eyes. They're hunter eyes, cold and calculating. Vincent Caruso, she says, sliding a manila folder across her desk. 28 years old, single, no kids. Lives in a downtown apartment he can't afford, drives a car that's financed to the hilt. He's got student loans, credit card debt, and a gambling problem he thinks nobody knows about. I flip through the photos and documents. Vincent at the casino, Vincent meeting with loan sharks, Vincent writing checks his paralegal salary can't cover. There's more, Rita says. He's been skimming money from client accounts at Elena's firm. Small amounts, nothing that would trigger an audit, but it adds up. How much? $15,000 over 6 months. Jesus, your wife doesn't know. Yet. I close the folder. What do you want for this information? Nothing. Marty said you're good people. Consider it a public service. That night, I create an anonymous email account and send everything to Elena's former boss, the State Bar Association, and the District Attorney's Office. Vincent's not just going to lose Elena, he's going to lose everything. Elena comes home late that night, her eyes red from crying. Vincent's been arrested for embezzlement. The scandal is front-page news in our small-town paper. Did you know? She asks. Know what? About the money, about Vincent. I pour myself a whiskey, offer her one. She shakes her head. I suspected he was in trouble, I say. Guys like Vincent always are. I'm so stupid. You're not stupid. You're lonely. She looks at me with surprise. Jack, I know I haven't been the husband you deserved. I know I got comfortable, took you for granted. It's not just that. I know. We sit in silence for a while. the weight of 22 years pressing down on us. The house transfer, Elena says finally. We should probably talk about that. Already signed the papers. They're on your desk upstairs. Her eyes widen. You signed them? You said it was for the kid's sake, for Sam's future. Elena stares at me, searching for the catch, but I keep my expression neutral, resigned. Thank you, she says softly. There's one condition. What? I want 30 days to find a new place. I know you're eager to start fresh, but I need time to figure out what comes next. Of course, take all the time you need. I nod, finish my whiskey. I'm going to bed. Long day tomorrow. As I head upstairs, I allow myself a small smile. Elena thinks she's won. She has no idea what she just signed. The house transfer documents are legitimate, drawn up by a lawyer friend of Marty's who owes him a favor. But buried in the legal language, on page 7 of 12, is a clause Elena's lawyer missed because she was too eager to close the deal. If the original owner vacates the property within 30 days of transfer, or if the new owner attempts to sell or mortgage the property within that same period, ownership automatically reverts to the original owner. Elena has 30 days to move out, or she loses everything, and she doesn't even know it. Day 15, and Elena is already making plans. She's contacted a real estate agent about selling the house, talked to contractors about renovations, even started packing some of my things. But something's bothering me. Vincent was small-time, a wannabe player who got in over his head. The embezzlement, the affair, the timing, it all feels too coordinated for a guy who can't balance his own checkbook. I'm in Marty's office, going over Rita's files again, when I see it. A name buried in Vincent's financial records, hidden among the legitimate transactions. Greg Hawkins, digital marketing consultant. I know that name. Greg worked for me 5 years ago, back when I was trying to modernize the shop's advertising. Young guy, full of ideas about social media and online presence. I fired him after 3 months when I caught him stealing from the cash register. Son of a witch, I whisper. What? Marty looks up from his newspaper. Greg Hawkins. He's been pulling the strings this whole time. I show Marty the financial records, point out the pattern of payments from Vincent to Greg's consulting firm. Vincent's not smart enough to embezzle money without getting caught, I explain, but Greg is. Greg set him up, taught him how to skim from the accounts, probably promised to help him disappear with Elena once they had enough money. Why? Revenge. I fired him, humiliated him in front of his friends. He's been planning this for 5 years. Marty folds his newspaper, gives me his full attention. What are you going to do? I'm going to destroy him. That afternoon, I drive to Greg's office. It's in a converted warehouse downtown, all exposed brick and industrial lighting. Very trendy. Very expensive. Greg's secretary, a young woman with purple hair and multiple piercings, tells me he's in a meeting. Tell him Jack Morrison is here to discuss the Vincent Caruso project. 5 minutes later, Greg appears. He's 32 now, still trying to look 25. Expensive clothes, perfect hair, the kind of smile that belongs on a used car salesman. Jack Morrison, he says, extending his hand. It's been a long time. I don't shake his hand. Not long enough? His smile falters slightly. What can I do for you? You can explain why you've been paying Vincent Caruso to destroy my marriage. Greg's face goes pale, but he recovers quickly. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. Vincent's been paying your consulting firm for months. Digital marketing, you called it. Except Vincent doesn't have a business to market. Client confidentiality. I step closer, and Greg takes an instinctive step back. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to call Vincent and tell him the game is over. You're going to return whatever money you haven't spent yet, and you're going to disappear from my life permanently. Or what? Or I'll make sure everyone in this town knows exactly what kind of business you really run. Greg's confidence crumbles. You can't prove anything. I don't have to. This is a small town, Greg. Reputation is everything. How long do you think your business will last when word gets out that you're a con artist who preys on broken marriages? You son of a witch. That's the second time this week someone's called me that. I'm starting to take it as a compliment. Greg doesn't take my advice. Instead, he doubles down. The next morning, I wake up to find my shop's windows smashed and wife beater spray painted across the garage door. My customers start canceling appointments, and my employees look at me like I've grown a second head. Someone's been spreading rumors that I've been abusing Elena, that the affair was her way of escaping a violent marriage. I know it's Greg, but I can't prove it. That afternoon, I follow him from his office to a parking garage downtown. He's driving a black BMW, weaving through traffic like he's trying to lose a tail. He parks on the third level and gets out, looking around nervously. I park 2 spaces away and watch as he makes a phone call. "The mechanic's getting too close," I hear him say. "We need to accelerate the timeline." I get out of my truck and start walking toward him. Greg sees me coming and runs. The parking garage becomes a maze of concrete pillars and parked cars. Greg's younger, but I know the layout better. I helped build this garage 15 years ago. I cut him off at the stairwell, grab him by his expensive jacket, and slam him against the wall. "Where's Vincent?" I demand. "I don't know what you're talking about." I lift him off his feet and hold him over the stairwell railing, 3 floors down to concrete. "Where's Vincent?" "He's gone," Greg gasps. "He took the money and ran. Elena doesn't know yet, but he's never coming back." I pull him back from the edge, set him down. "How much money?" "50,000 from the client accounts." "And you helped him?" Greg nods, too scared to lie anymore. "It was supposed to be simple. Vincent seduces Elena, gets access to the firm's accounts, we clean them out and disappear. But you complicated things. By fighting back. By being smarter than we thought." I let go of his jacket, step back. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell Elena everything. You're going to confess to the police, and you're going to make sure Vincent gets caught. And if I don't?" I smile, and something in my expression makes Greg flinch. "Then I'll throw you off this roof." Greg confesses everything to Elena that night. I watch through the kitchen window as they sit in his BMW, her face getting paler with each revelation. Vincent's gone, the money's gone, her career is destroyed, her reputation ruined, and the man she threw away her marriage for never loved her at all. When Greg drives away, Elena sits in the driveway for 20 minutes, crying. I'm waiting in the kitchen when she comes inside. "Jack," she starts, but I hold up my hand. "I know. Greg told me everything." "I'm so sorry." "I know. Vincent, he never cared about me. It was all about the money." "I know." She breaks down completely then, 22 years of marriage collapsing into sobs and apologies. I hold her while she cries, and for a moment, it feels like we might find our way back to each other. Then she pulls away, wipes her eyes. "The house," she says. "I need to sell it, start over somewhere else, away from all this." "You can't sell the house, Elena." "What do you mean?" I pull out a copy of the transfer documents, point to the clause on page 7. "You signed an agreement that prevents you from selling or mortgaging the property for 30 days. It's right there in black and white." Elena's lawyer face kicks in as she reads the fine print. I watch her expression change from confusion to understanding to rage. "You tricked me. I protected myself. This clause, if I try to sell within 30 days, ownership reverts to you." "That's right. And if I vacate the property?" "Same thing." Elena stares at the document, then at me. "You planned this, all of it." "I planned to survive." "The fight with Vincent, the investigation, Greg's confession, you orchestrated everything." "I responded to everything. There's a difference." She's shaking now with rage or fear or both. "You're a monster." "I'm a man who got tired of being walked on." "Sam was right about you." "Where is Sam, by the way?" "Haven't seen her since Vincent got arrested." Elena's face goes white. She's staying with friends." "Which friends?" "Jack, please." "Which friends, Elena?" The truth hits me like a physical blow. Sam's gone. She left with Vincent, thinking they were going to start a new life together. Elena's been covering for them, hoping Vincent would bring her back. "How much did she know?" I ask. "She thought she was helping. Vincent told her I was trapped in an abusive marriage, that you were dangerous." And she believed him. She's 18, Jack. She's naive. I pour myself a whiskey, offer Elena one. This time she takes it. "Vincent's not coming back," I tell her. "Greg made that clear. He's got $50,000 and a head start. Sam's just collateral damage to him. We have to find her." "We will. But first, you need to understand something." I sit across from her at the kitchen table, the same table where we've shared 10,000 meals over the years. "You have 24 hours to decide," I say. "You can stay in this house, work with me to find Sam, and try to rebuild what we had. Or you can leave, forfeit your claim to the house, and start over somewhere else." "That's not a choice. It's the only choice you've got left." Elena chooses to stay, but not out of love, out of necessity. With her career destroyed and no money of her own, She has nowhere else to go. We spend 3 days calling police departments and private investigators, trying to track down Vincent and Sam. On the fourth day, we get a break. Vincent's been arrested in Florida for credit card fraud. Sam's with him, but she's not under arrest. She's a sufferer. Elena flies to Miami to bring her home. I stay behind to deal with the aftermath of Greg's confession, which has become front-page news in our small town. The story has everything: infidelity, embezzlement, a teenage girl seduced by her mother's lover. The local paper runs it under the headline, House of Lies. I become a celebrity overnight. The wronged husband who fought back, who outsmarted the con artist trying to destroy his family. People I barely know stop me on the street to shake my hand, but I'm not done yet. The annual Founders Day festival is this weekend, and the whole town will be there. Elena and Sam are flying back tomorrow, and I want them to see exactly what their betrayal has cost. I rent a booth at the festival, right next to the main stage. The sign reads, Morrison Auto Repair, honest work, honest prices. But that's not what I'm really selling. When Elena and Sam arrive at the festival, they find me surrounded by half the town, telling the whole story in vivid detail. So there I am, I say to the crowd, watching my wife kiss her boyfriend through a motel window, and I think to myself, Jack, you've got two choices. You can roll over and die, or you can fight back. The crowd laughs and applauds. Elena and Sam stand at the edge, listening in horror as I describe every detail of their betrayal. The best part, I continue, was when Vincent tried to fight me in my own garage. This soft-handed, pretty boy, thinking he could take on a man who's been working with his hands for 30 years. I demonstrate Vincent's pathetic fighting stance, and the crowd roars with laughter. But the real villain, I say, my voice dropping to a stage whisper, was Greg Hawkins, the mastermind who orchestrated the whole thing as revenge for getting fired from my shop 5 years ago. I point to Greg, who's standing near the beer tent with his girlfriend. The crowd turns to look at him, and he tries to disappear into the crowd. Greg convinced Vincent to seduce my wife, taught him how to steal money from her law firm, and even turn my own daughter against me, all because I caught him stealing from my cash register. The crowd's mood turns ugly. Greg's girlfriend looks at him with disgust and walks away. Other people start pointing and whispering. But here's the beautiful part, I say, building to my finale. While they were all plotting and scheming, I was planning too. I added a clause to the house transfer that my wife didn't read, a clause that gave me back everything they tried to steal. I pull out the transfer documents and wave them in the air. 30 days, I announce. That's all she had. 30 days to sell the house or lose it forever. And guess what? Time's up. The crowd erupts in cheers and applause. Elena turns and runs, Sam close behind her. I take a bow. That night, Elena and Sam pack their belongings while I sit in the kitchen, drinking whiskey and listening to them argue upstairs. This is your fault, Elena tells Sam. If you hadn't encouraged me, if you hadn't helped Vincent, I was trying to help you be happy. Happy? I've lost everything. My career, my reputation, my home. You still have Dad. Your father is a monster. Did you see what he did today? He humiliated us in front of the entire town. We humiliated ourselves. I smile at that. Maybe Sam learned something from this mess after all. They come downstairs with their suitcases, and Elena sets the house keys on the kitchen table. Where will you go? I ask. My sister's, until I can find a job somewhere else. And Sam? Community college. We can't afford anything else now. Sam won't look at me. She's ashamed, finally understanding the consequences of her choices. Sam, I say, look at me. She raises her eyes reluctantly. Vincent never loved you. He used you to get to your mother, and he would have abandoned you the moment you became inconvenient. I hope you remember that the next time someone offers you easy answers to complicated problems. I know, she whispers. Good. Elena picks up her suitcase. Are you happy now, Jack? You've won. You've destroyed everyone who crossed you. I didn't destroy anyone. I just stopped letting them destroy me. There's a difference? Yeah, the difference is choice. You chose to cheat. Sam chose to help you. Greg chose revenge. Vincent chose greed. I just chose not to be a sufferer. Elena stares at me for a long moment, and I see something like respect in her eyes. What happens now? She asks. Now you live with the consequences of your choices, just like I've been doing for 22 years. They leave without saying goodbye. I watch their taillights disappear down the street, then pour myself another whiskey. The house is quiet now. My house. I walk through the rooms, remembering better times. Sam's first steps in the living room, Christmas mornings around the tree, Elena laughing at some stupid joke I told. All of that is gone now, burned away by betrayal and revenge. But I'm still standing. The divorce is final. Elena gets nothing. The prenup she insisted on 20 years ago protects my assets, and her infidelity voids any claim to alimony. Sam transfers to the community college in town and moves back home. She's different now, quieter, more thoughtful. The experience with Vincent taught her that actions have consequences, that trust is earned, not given. We're rebuilding our relationship slowly. She works part-time at the shop, learning the business, earning her way back into my good graces. Elena finds a job at a small firm 2 towns over, handling real estate closings and traffic tickets. It's a come down from her previous life, but it's honest work. We don't speak. Vincent gets 3 years for embezzlement and fraud. Greg gets 18 months as an accessory. The local paper covers both sentencings with obvious satisfaction. I keep the newspaper clippings in a frame on my office wall, next to a photo of Elena and Vincent kissing at the motel. A reminder of what happens when people underestimate Jack Morrison. The shop is busier than ever. My story has made me something of a local legend, and people drive from 3 counties away to have their cars fixed by the man who outsmarted the con artists. I'm thinking about expanding, maybe hiring another mechanic, but mostly I'm thinking about the future, about second chances and new beginnings, about what comes next for a man who's learned that sometimes the best revenge is simply refusing to lose. I pour myself a whiskey. I've been drinking a lot of whiskey lately, and toast my empty house. To the house clause, I say aloud, and to everyone who thought they could take what's mine. The whiskey burn's going down, but it's a good burn, a victorious burn.